Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles the Band, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got some horrific news for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me get into this topic here. This is one of the most perplexing shows we're going to do that I've done in a very long time, that we produce in a very long time. Let me just get into the nitty-gritty of this. As you guys are fully aware, we just produced a show just yesterday talking about the fact that Warner Brothers, TNT, and these guys are fighting to be a part of this new NBA deal that they've gotten, that the NBA is securing with all of these major networks. You have Amazon, you have, I think, NBC. Yeah, I think it's NBC. You have ESPN. We've done shows about this, right? And the NBA just landed a $76 billion deal over the next 10 years, right? So one would surmise that this product is extremely popular for them to be able to 3x their revenue, because the prior deal they were on was 25 million. Fantastic. So I'm going through the internet, right? And I see a picture that is sent to me from Yahoo Sports, who I follow on Yahoo Sports. And I see the image and I immediately share the image on my Instagram story. Again, for those of you not following me on Instagram, my handle is CTABANZ. Y'all can follow me there. And I'm like, this, and I put the wow emoji. I'm like, the shocked emoji. I'm like, this cannot even be real. But apparently, the NBA just had its worst viewed game in the NBA Finals since 2007. And I was like, how is this even possible? So this is what we want to get into today's show. But before we even get into this video is brought to you by our sponsor. Game Time is the official sponsor of today's show. Game Time makes getting NBA Finals tickets even faster and easier than ever before. For example, I am super excited about the games between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. With Game Time tickets, I can easily pick the best tickets for me. I love that I can choose between different deals. I have the option to select the cheaper deal, the best option deal, or my favorite, the flash deal. The flash deal gives me the option to find discounts that I can only find on Game Time. Once I select the ticket I want, I can view my seat. And it's not just restricted to the NBA. I can also look for the best ticket deals for other sports like football, baseball, or concerts, or comedy or theater shows. Included in my purchase, I also have a 24-hour return guarantee, a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Let me get into this. So let me get into the article here. It's from Yahoo Sports. It says, NBA Finals ratings. Mavericks Celtics post worst Game 1 numbers since 2021. The Dallas Mavericks weren't the only group that underperformed in Game 1 in the 2024 NBA Finals. The series opener averaged a 5.7 rating and 10.99 million viewers on ABC per Sports Media Watch, making it the least watched NBA Finals Game 1 since the league hit its ratings nadir with the 2020 and 2021 finals. Beyond those two, 10.99 is the league's lowest number since 2007. The 2020 NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers averaged only 7.69 million viewers, while the 2021 series between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns averaged 8.7 million. Those numbers are a 5% decline from last year's Denver Nuggets Heat Game 1, and 8% decline in ratings when compared to the Boston Celtics last trip to the NBA Finals in 2020 against the Golden State Warriors. In a vacuum, it would be surprising for finals with the Celtics and the Mavs to underperform given the size of the Celtics fan base and the star power of Luka Doncic, but the lopsided nature of Game 1 obviously impacted the numbers. Boston was up 37-20 by the end of the first quarter and led by as much as 29 in 107-89 win. Okay, so basically the article goes on to say a few other things about ratings and all of that. Let me get into this. I've been following this story and I've been listening to various sources, right? I listen to conservative personalities. I listen to liberal personalities, talking sports, talking politics, talking business. And whenever they discuss the NBA, usually what you hear is that the NBA is suffering, the NBA is suffering, the NBA is suffering. And you're like, okay. Then you hear the numbers with the ratings. You're like, okay. Then you look at the last All-Star game and how horrendous that was with viewership and all of that. You're like, okay, this makes sense. And then you turn around and you hear ESPN is, excuse me, you hear ESPN is going to offer $2.8 billion to the NBA over the next 10 years. You hear, what is it? I think NBC is offering $2.6 billion. Then you have Amazon, who's offering over $1 billion, and you have TNT, Warner Brothers, fighting to get within the mix. And you're like, they just 3x'd the deal that they were on before, which was a $25 billion deal. Now they're at $76 billion. But then you hear these numbers, and you're like, what? Well, how do we reconcile all of this? Personally, I don't understand what's going on. I personally do not. If you look at viewership in the NBA, especially the NBA Finals and all of that, over the last 25, 30 years, the numbers have just been declining. It was at its zenith when Michael Jordan was there. The most viewed NBA game ever was in 1998, Game 6 with the Chicago Bulls. That was the single most viewed basketball game in the history of the sport. And the greatest player of all time, by a wide margin, Michael Jordan was there playing. And ever since then, they've not been able to capture those numbers. Even the Golden State Warriors and all of them, LeBron, Stephen Curry, yeah, they were good. They still weren't on the level of Jordan and the Bulls and all of that. But now, when you hear these type of numbers of 10 million, and of course they had lower numbers, but what confuses me is the fact that they just landed this big deal, and then you see this sharp decline in viewership, and I'm like, how does all of this work? I am so confused. I wish someone somewhere would explain this to me. Really, because I don't understand. I really don't understand how all of this is working. These are just my thoughts. Maybe some of you guys can make better sense of it than I can. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.